Nation, free Guy Harvey t-shirt, and an exclusive Guy Harvey debit card. At Gateway Bank, we will make a $50 donation to the Guy Harvey Ocean Foundation for every new account open. This is just one more reason why people choose Gateway Bank. Sign up today for your exclusive Guy Harvey checking account with Gateway. Details available at gatewaybankcfl.com, member FDIC.
Right on the southwestern Square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
On Mondays, AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be joined by Bern Pareso. She's our medical reporter coming in to talk to us about medical providers in Marion County.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events are bite-sized.
And then Deborah Dozier-Potter is coming on. She's the daughter of actress Joan Fontaine, and she's a survivor of PTSD. And coming on to speak about her book, Let Buster Lead. It's her discovery of love, PTSD, and self-acceptance.
Tony Memel is an award-winning singer-songwriter, and he'll be on the air speaking about all of his new projects.
And then Matt Gibbs will be answering your questions about your cars, your trucks, and maybe even your riding lawnmower on Auto Repair with Personal Care.
Leslie Tain will be on the air. She was twice honored as one of Long Island Business News' top 50 most influential women in business. She'll be speaking about her new book, Life in Debt.
And then Dr. Patricia Bragg is coming on, the First Lady of Natural Health, coming on to speak about stress-relieving exercises. All of that plus Fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Join us on Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex. The goal of this festival is not only to provide a great time for families in Ocala, but to also raise funds to build a home for our family and our community and support Habitat for Humanity's mission to strengthen communities, build hope, and provide dignified housing solutions. Remember, Saturday, March 7, 2015 for the second annual Habitat Strawberries Festival at the McPherson Government Complex, which starts at 7 a.m. with breakfast.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line and a new spoiler and a new
Yep,
trunk.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for Auto Repair with Personal Care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Welcome back to the Voice of Ocala Ask the Cops, brought to you by the Briggs Law Firm. Thanks to Randy Briggs and his son Bo for all they do to bring this show to you.
Randy will be here at 3:30.
Randy will be here at 3:30. Sheriff Chris Blair joins us. Captain Mike Balkin of the Ocala Police Department joins us. Oh, and Buddy Martin's here too. Buddy Martin
and the sheriff.
And Sheriff Chris Blair. Sheriff, I want to ask you, there was some policing done in Orange Springs. I used to live out at that area, Putnam County, Marion County line, and I know that kangaroo right there and the boat dock and everything in that area, there were, how do I say this without upsetting people? There were scumbags that used to sell dope and all out in that area. And you did a roundup or some arrest or something out in that area recently.
Yeah, we do long-term investigations sometimes as it is related to drug activity. So, it has to be reported, then it has to be documented, and then we have to make probable cause for arrest. So, search warrants are developed, and then we do, you can call it a raid, but we show up on somebody's front door and we come in with a search warrant and we try to seize whatever dope that we're after. So as well as firearms and currency, U.S. currency. So on this particular time you're talking about, that was a long-term investigation by our drug teams that were partnerships with the Ocala Police Department, DEA, and others, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So that group there was able to establish that probable cause and go out into that area and serve the search warrants and make the arrest.
Oh, very good, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I hope Chris, Sheriff Blair and Captain Mike, you and Greg Graham will have learned this by now. When you bust these guys with drugs, you know it's not theirs. It belonged to somebody else. So you should know that by
Oh,
now.
it's obviously it's in my house in my sock drawer, but it's not mine.
That belonged to them, so.
No ownership.
Yeah, so that
They don't
Wheaties
know
box
how-
in the freezer, that's not mine.
I don't know how I got there.
Yeah, not mine. First of all, say good afternoon to you, Sheriff and Captain. Good to have you on the program. Thanks for showing up today. And
Thank you.
And I just have this one thing in my mind that we've talked about a little bit, Chris, on this show. And I think you're well aware of it. I'm a little bit aware of it, but I just kind of got a feeling that maybe the average person is not aware of it. I've said my education by doing this show. What is it now, Tom? 2 years we've been doing this?
We've been doing Ask the Cops right at 2 years.
Right here. Okay, so I've learned a lot. I mean, some things I remember.
You've learned that you'd have no business owning a gun. You know that.
Yeah, no, I think that was meant for you, Tom. Anyway, and by the way, you know a little bit too much about those people in Orange Springs. That's what I'm
Let me
saying.
tell you
So, no, seriously, it's one of the things that I've always learned. I've learned is that you got to, when you see something that doesn't look right, or you have something that looks suspicious, or you hear something suspicious, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call the OPD or the Marion County Sheriff's Office, because let's face it, there's not enough of them to be able to see everything in our county. You used to think that. Well, don't worry about it. The police are on this. But, as we all know now, many of your great leads come from people who are just private citizens. So I've learned that, and I actually have called a couple of times since I live in the city, and I've called the police department a few times, and they've come out and been good experiences. But what do you do on this subject? And today I wanted to spend a little time talking about terrorism. I know last night at your town meeting that Major Terry Bavard was there, and he talked about this the Homeland Security issue, Sheriff. And I know this is obviously something that we've been needing in our law enforcement agencies for a while. And, what is Homeland Security? It is obviously protecting our interests particularly from outside, from terrorists, right?
Correct.
All right. So here's the thing. You don't want to racially profile. We certainly don't want to say that every Muslim in the world is a criminal, like some people suggested, and I'm not saying this is just Muslims. But you see people sometimes. You see groups of people. You see them, they have a certain profile about them. I'm not talking about African Americans here. And you see them whispering and talking, acting kind of strange, and they keep showing up and doing this. And you think, what is going on there? How do I deal with this? I can't call you up and say, I see some suspicious people out here. At the same time, you never know what's going on in that group. And I'm not afraid, scaredy cat. I'm not the person who worries about that. But those are some things I think people need clarity on, including myself. When do you call when you see a group of people that don't look like they belong to this community? Let's be honest about it, Tom. You've seen the group I've seen. And
yes,
I don't know what reaction you got, but mine was, what is going on out there?
Whenever you see a group of 5 or 6 gentlemen, all similarly dressed, all of the same country origin or background, they all huddle up into a close-knit circle, smoking cigarettes, and everything they do is in hushed tones and whispers to each other. When I was a little boy, my cousins used to point out to me, my mom's cousins, but my second cousins who are from the New York area, that's a group of men you don't mess with because they were part of a family or part of a crew or something. Well, now it's moved on to where the Russians and the Armenians and stuff like that have crews like that, as do Muslim jihadist groups and everything. So what do you do when you see a group like that if you say something, somebody can say, well, you're racist for saying that about a group of 6 or 7 guys, but it just doesn't look right.
I think when you look at suspicious activity, this is something that's just not, suspicious to you in nature. So I think what we have to do is, as we do in anything else, we do fact gathering. It's information that we just will get regardless whether it's tag numbers and things of that nature. It's like a convenience store clerk that sees a suspicious vehicle drive through the parking lot and it may stop for a period of time. What we asked her to do is document the tag number. Not that we know something's going to happen, but what if something does happen? At least it gives law enforcement a lead for us to follow up on. Because it could be that person's case in the store, they come back and then they rob the store. So, you got all different suspicious activity comes in many, many different forms and different ways. And this is one that you just described. So, to me, you might want to write tag numbers down. You may want to call law enforcement. Depends on what time of hour it is, during the day. Where's the location that you see these certain individuals
Same
at?
place all the time.
So,
Same place every
so
time.
it's something that certainly we want to look at as a law enforcement. And and I'm gonna turn it over to Mike here and let him share before we go into the terrorism stuff. So
Yeah, I would agree with the sheriff. I think it really comes down to the reasonableness of that suspicion. Certainly, you're not going to base that on race, but activity, talking in hushed tones, things like that, I think is certainly enough to call. And the vast majority of our in-progress calls for service that are solved start out from a citizen calling in something vaguely suspicious. And then the officer or the deputy is going to review that. Maybe they run a tag that somebody called in and find out that the vehicle's stolen or involved in a shooting or a robbery or something to that effect. So, certainly if someone has a gut feeling that it's suspicious in nature, call in and let the professionals determine if it's something that we need to check out or not.
Well, you mentioned the word suspicion, and we only got a minute before we got to go to break. But one thing, Captain Balkin and Sheriff, is that you guys have said over and over again, the best police work are done by people who follow their instincts.
exactly.
So when my instinct is really telling me something's not right here, I got to say I'm concerned about things like that, especially today. We're talking about ISIS. We're talking about lone wolf attacks. We're talking about things in the communities that are dangerous. And let's be honest, you guys know more about this than I do, but I wouldn't be shocked to say there's a cell living right here amongst us. Who knows that there isn't?
Well, you had a cell that lived right near you, learned how to fly planes right up from you.
I was going to mention the fact that 9/11 happened. I was a newspaper editor down in South Florida, and we found out that the training was done 50 miles from where I lived in Venice, Florida, where Muhammad Atta and his crew did all that work. So there you go.
And they got gas here.
And they got gas here, too.
Here in Marion County.
But we'll talk a little bit about that coming up on the other side, a little bit about the terrorism aspect. Now, as you said, what's it like for you guys, and how do you deal with it, Mike, and at the police department, Chris and you, and how you have to gear up for it with the right kind of equipment, and how you have to be alert, and what is the new position going to be like for the sheriff's department with Major Bavard? We'll talk about that next. Stay tuned. It's Ask the Cops, sponsored by the Briggs Law Firm, right here in the voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan. I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
Let's give it up for old asphalt and a new pair of shoes. Let's give it up for a good rhythm meeting a sweet melody. For a church cookout under clear skies. Let's give it up for good things coming together, like bundling your auto and other policies together with an Allstate agent, which can save you time and keep you better protected. Let's give it up for good.
To receive your comparative insurance quote, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. and he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. A new issue with healthcare.gov. 800,000 people who signed up on the site got wrong tax information. White House spokesman Josh Earnest downplaying it.
HHS has said that they anticipate that they'll be able to send these updated forms in the next couple of weeks. So there'd be ample time for people to file in advance of April 15th.
Some Republicans say it's unfair to taxpayers. The U.S. slapping a $14,000 a day fine on Japanese company Takata until it cooperates in a probe about its exploding airbags.
At least 6 people have died, and then Takata has resisted demands for a nationwide recall, although 10 automakers have done recalls themselves. The feds have also demanded data from the company, but says Takata has yet to fully explain some of the 2.4 million pages of documents.
Fox Radio's Jeff Manasso. Batter up for faster baseball. The major leagues and players' unions have agreed to post stadium clocks on time pitching changes and breaks between innings. Fox News, we report, you decide.
It is time to refresh and renew for 2015 at thecompanystore.com. Our semi-annual white sale is going on now. From our famous lacrosse down comforters and pillows to the finest quality sheets, towels, and bedding basics. Receive 20% off your entire order, free shipping, and up to 70% off clearance items when you enter code RADIO15. That's RADIO15 for up to 70% off and free shipping. Thecompanystore.com, where quality has been known for generations. Thecompanystore.com. We're all about comfort.
What's the secret to great business trips? Choice Hotels, where you'll find everything a business traveler needs, like a generous rewards program. And right now, choose Choice twice for 2 separate trips and get a night at no price. Stay for business at Choice Hotels and book now at choicehotels.com. Great endings begin here. Free night based on an 8,000-point Choice Privileges Reward night at over 1,500 hotels. Valid 2/19/15 through 4/22/15. Requires registration and 2 separate qualifying stays. Other terms and conditions apply. Details at choicehotels.com.
Hi, I'm Seth with AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Have you ever thought about the locks or security on your house or business? Have you ever wondered why the keys to your new car cost so much? Well, at AA Lock, Dock, and Security, we can help with securing your valuables. We can even replace those expensive transponder keys. We can give you the knowledge that no one else will. Call AA Lock, Dock, and Security at 867-1965. That's 867-1965.
NASCAR fans, it's time to get charged up with New Holland. As the official agricultural equipment sponsor of NASCAR, New Holland is giving race fans the opportunity of a lifetime by offering the chance to win tickets to the Daytona 500. Visit your participating New Holland dealer to receive a free portable phone charger to keep you charged up on race day, a special equipment offer, and the chance to win tickets to the season opening race of the Daytona 500. To enter, visit Ocala Tractor on 5841 North Highway 441, February 20th from 3 to 5. Offer good while supplies last.
Are you tired of looking through glasses with scratched lenses? Or are your frames a little dated? Well, Ocala Eye is offering a sweetheart special that can solve that problem today. Now, through the end of February, Ocala Eye is celebrating Valentine's Day every day by knocking $100 off on any complete pair of frames and lenses purchased from any of Ocala Eye's 5 locations, including the Villages. Pick from hundreds of designer frames like Kate Spade, Coach, Vera Wang, Maui Jim, and more. Then apply the Ocala Eye Sweetheart Special and knock $100 off whatever the cost. And if you live in the Villages, don't miss our optical trunk show at our office on Laurel Manor Drive on Saturday, February 28th. For more information, go to ocalaeye.com. Trusted doctors and proven technology. Just another way Ocala Eye is looking out for you.
Time now for the Friday Drive. Just remembering that the folks out of Prestige Auto can take care of all your needs. Good people out there. Deal with them often. I've had family members and friends buy from them. I can tell you that whatever Chris doesn't have on the lot, he'll go find it for you. He can find you one you can afford. Not only will you find one you can afford, but if he thinks you can't afford it, he'll tell you that too. So if you have any auto needs for your family, something you can drive, someone you can buy a car from, you can trust, feel good about, we really do encourage you to go see the folks at Prestige Auto, both here in Ocala on College Road and in Bellevue. They've got plenty of cars. I'd like to say Chris has nice cars. He didn't want to keep them. He'd like to sell them.
He doesn't.
And so just go online at prestigeforyou.com. It's prestige, the number 4 letter U.com. Look at what you see there and kick a few tires on the weekend and tell them Buddy sent you out to the Prestige Auto.
I don't know that I'd tell them Buddy sent me. They may jack the price up.
Sure I wouldn't tell them Tom sent me.
No, definitely don't say Tom. Although, I bought a nice car from there, and I was very happy with Chris Spears. So Prestige Auto, go see him.
You got it. Sheriff Chris Bear, Captain Mike Balkin asked the cops on a Friday, presented by the Briggs Law Firm. Randy just texted me. He cannot make it in this afternoon. It says regrets to you and apologizes he couldn't get in. He, like you, got tied up today. So we want to discuss terrorism. And it used to be a foreign word. It used to be a foreign thing. It was something that was never at our house. It was always somebody else that had to deal with that. Yet as we go through year by year, it gets closer and closer and closer to where we live and our communities. And I believe it was you, Chris, that said this. I'm pretty almost positive it was. I don't think it was Greg. That, people are coming up I-75. We don't want this to become Orlando. And
I used to say Orlando moving north.
Yeah. But the point is, we do have I-75, and a lot of folks come through there, all right? And some good folks and some bad folks. And you brought up, Chris, that some of the terrorists recently bought gas here. My question, I guess, is, and for this topic of discussion, Captain Balkin and Sheriff Blair, is what do we need to know about terrorism? What do we should be aware of? And then, aren't we putting our men and women and officers in danger more than ever by making them the first line of defense? Because if something goes down big, whatever it might be, the first people who will be there will be first responders, the Ocala Police Department, Sheriff's Office, Fire Department, what have you. It's not just a couple of kids joyriding through the neighborhood. These are trained killers, professionals. I don't want to scare people. I'm not saying that you should be worried about tonight when you go to bed about getting blown up, but it is a reality. So with that context, I'd like both of you to kind of talk about that being real, how that changes your jobs and your departments.
I think I'll start with that. I think the important thing was, I was at the National Sheriff's Conference back last year, and I heard a 25-year veteran that he's an expert in terrorism, and, he covered some things with all the sheriffs there. And basically, what I had heard is what I see now going on across the country and throughout the world, and beheadings and things of that nature, as well as ambush on our law enforcement officers. Recently seen that going on. Ambushes are up 56% on law enforcement officers. So with that, and then you got to look at what we've had, not when you say recently, it's not nowhere near recently. We're talking the 9/11 attacks, and those individuals came through Marion County. They got gas here. We had the second largest seizure of ricin here. It's a poison in Marion County in the United States. So we had an individual with mercury here. So you got to be concerned about fact gathering, make sure that we have the intelligence that we need to have. And by having Major Brevard there, this guy he's a subject matter expert in terrorism, homeland security, has all the proper contacts throughout the state and throughout the country. He's tuned into it. He bought back $3.1 million of equipment to the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the bomb robots and many, many other things to help us be prepared for whatever may unfold. So, we're being advised, we have to be concerned for individuals that are being trained outside of our country, and then they're returning to our country. And to be honest with you, the federal government openly admit they don't know where they're at. So, and they will tell you that it's going to start on the local level. We're the ones that are going to have to respond to it, and at the end of the day, we respond, and we'll be the ones actually to clean up the remainder of what takes place. So we need what we got to have. We got to have equipment, and my thing is, intelligence is so important it's about prevention. So that's the reason I bought Major Brevard back. I think it's just, and when I explain that to the town hall people that are attending those, they get it. They realize, you know what, it is pertinent and it is very important to have that person here. If we don't have him, somebody else is going to have him.
Yeah. Captain Balkin, I know you have the same kind of issues. What's going on in the Ocala Police Department, and how do you deal with these new threats that we all know about?
We do, buddy, and I would agree with the sheriff, especially on the intelligence side of this. We to combat that, we do assign. We've got one of our most experienced detectives, Steve Thibodeau, assigned to the FBI's Safe Streets Task Force to help us out. And it all comes to the reason why we do that is for information sharing. That's why we work so closely with the sheriff and his folks. And it's probably important to point out that a lot of these offenders, these terror offenders around the world that are committing these crimes are, we later find out that they're already on watch lists. They're on no-fly list, but somehow we lose track of them at a federal level, and there's sometimes becomes a lack of information sharing from one level to the next. And I think that's the most important part of this war on terror is that we share this information, we share what's going on, so the boots on the ground can remain alert and help solve problems before they arise.
To that end, the kiosk, and you're smiling because you're proud of that. Again, sharing information. If there was something that went on,
oh, absolutely.
It would be a good way to get the word out, right?
I smiled about it because I was just recently in Tallahassee, and Attorney General, I met with her, and we're trying to find other funding to work this thing throughout the state because of the kiosks and what it's brought to our county. I mean, we have done 55 apprehensions since we put it out. It's saving tax dollars. It's saving time on behalf of the men and women of the Marion County Sheriff's Office. And, for the sex predators and offenders, if they move into our community, we put them on there. And I'm hoping that they're moving out if they see their face on the kiosk. And we've had people turn themselves in that have actually seen themselves on the kiosk. So
now that's crime prevention right there.
There's no doubt about it, And then the good thing is the public service announcements that we have on there, and it's open to all the law enforcement agencies in the community. If they have another major event or a robbery or homicide, and they got suspects and they want it on the kiosk, we can put that information out to our businesses throughout our community in a minute and a half to 2 minutes. I mean, how can you touch the community that quick, and it can happen because of the kiosk. So other sheriffs throughout the state, I just came back from the Florida Sheriff's Conference, and they're impressed with it, and other sheriffs are buying the kiosks. And I know Ocala County, I think I said that right, recently put 4 in their county, and they apprehended a subject in a very short period of time that they've been looking for 2 years. So it's working.
What do you say to people that say, we're talking about terrorism, that it's not if, but when another 9/11 happens?
That's a tough thing to address, Tom. Frankly, I would agree that it pays to be alert, prepared for something like that to happen. We pray that it doesn't. But I agree with the sheriff that the tools that we have, the equipment, the personnel, and the intelligence that we try to gain is going to help us combat those types of issues. Will it happen? I'm sure it will at some point down the road. I'm sure it will. We aim to minimize that and prevent that as much as possible.
Yeah, to your point, Tom. I know it is when. I'm just telling you that we're being told is when, and so we don't know where. That's the question, I think, and so we have to be certainly alert throughout this entire country because nobody knows what's going to take place or when it's going to take place. But if you hear the experts and others that are inside, they feel that something may occur. So.
One of the stories after 9/11 was that they realized they had a failed system of communication. That FBI wasn't talking to, the CIA, and the CIA wasn't talking to local law enforcement. And this is why we had Homeland Security that came about. And now the information, I presume, is shared much more readily. And you talked about it, Sheriff, earlier. Any way you can get that connection so that all law enforcement agencies are on the same page is extremely helpful. But what does the FBI know that we don't know? And how do you find out from the FBI? Captain Balkin, what do you?
Well, I can tell you, I think the atmosphere between local and federal law enforcement changed a great deal, tremendously after 9/11, and frankly, it's amazing to see some of the intelligence bulletins and alerts that come down from the FBI and those other federal agencies. It's amazing to see how quickly it gets from the federal level through the agency straight to the boots on the ground, to a patrol car, to a laptop in a patrol car. It's incredible.
What kind of information if you had one recently? Both of you, do you have one you can talk about?
Well, I don't have it with me specifically here, buddy.
No, but what? Like?
I would say sensitive terror alerts. Potential suspects. One came out yesterday, and I wish I could remember where. But it had to do with certain individuals that were active in another jurisdiction that they wanted to alert us to the fact that they could be traveling through our area.
Not that they necessarily were here, but they could be passing through.
They could be passing through, traveling through this area, Marion County.
And today I did the press conference with introducing Major Vard back into the community. We received one that day. Same thing.
Same sort of alert.
Looking for vehicles, and I agree with the captain here that I think since 9/11, the intelligence sharing between the federal government and the local government certainly has definitely increased. I think it's next to none now. We do a great job. We all have these, North Florida Regional Domestic Task Force now. Ours is out of Jacksonville, but we're tied into it. So, and that's what Terry's really going to be working with. So intelligence now, I think it's there. The question is, you got to react to it. So you got to make sure you got the boots on the ground to be able to do it.
Hopefully we'll have Major Bavard in here with us one of these days soon. We'll take a break, come back. I know Chris Blair is Chris Spears is, by the way, also a numbers guy. Chris Blair is a numbers guy. He's always got a stat. To use the old cliche, crime never takes a holiday, Tom. We'll see whether or not what's happening in crime in our community, and we'll talk just a little bit more about what's happened down at the cop shop and the sheriff's office after this time out on Ask the Cops, the voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source. Does osteoarthritis bring frustration with every step? Do pain and stiffness affect your everyday activities? If so, you may be interested in a research study for the treatment of pain associated with osteoarthritis. Renstar Medical Research is conducting a research study of an investigational medication for individuals between the ages of 40 and 75 and who have been treated for the pain associated with osteoarthritis for at least 3 months. Qualified participants will receive study-related medical care and investigational medication. Compensation for time and travel will be provided. To learn more about this osteoarthritis study, please call Renstar Medical Research in Ocala at 352-629-5800. Again, that's 352-629-5800.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. Traditional help for truly injured. We trademark registered this belief years ago as our description of our practice at the Briggs Law Firm. By traditional help, we mean that clients actually meet with a partner in the firm who will personally handle their case, not a paralegal. Well, what about truly injured? We limit our practice to injury claims having merit with clients who indeed have been injured. So if you or a loved one have been truly injured, compare our credentials at the Briggs Law Firm. Or call us at 671-4600.
Stay with us and sleep better at the Sleep Inn and Suites of Ocala Bellevue, located next door to Don Garlett's Museum and a few minutes from Florida Horse Park. Our award-winning, newly refreshed Sleep Inn and Suites offers comfy, clean rooms, free fast Wi-Fi, and service with a smile. Start your day with a deluxe hot breakfast and unwind in our heated outdoor pool. Our convenient 24-hour fitness and business centers allow you to stay on track whether you're here to play or to work. That's Sleep Inn and Suites Ocala Bellevue.
Proud sponsor of College of Central Florida basketball.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Where did you sit when the dust settled?
Richard Petty goes back in front. They both spin. They're in the wall.
Where did you sit when the tempers flared?
And now it appears we may have a fist fight. Drivers and helmets.
Or when standing ovation took on a whole new meaning?
All the pit crews out on pit lane to salute Dale Earnhardt, who is...
Well, from where we sit, this Daytona 500 is the chance of a lifetime. Because this is your final opportunity to experience the great American race from some of the classic seats that have witnessed some of the most famous moments in racing history. And it's your first chance to say hello to the future in all new grandstands where fans will bear witness to all the legendary moments yet to come. So where will you sit this February 22nd? Don't miss your one and only chance to experience Daytona at a unique moment in history. The Daytona 500, Sunday, February 22nd. To guarantee your seats, call 1-800-PIT-SHOP or visit Daytona500.com.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Back with the final couple minutes here on the Voice of Ocala, Ask the Cops. Captain Mike Balkin, Sheriff Chris Blair in the house. Let's go to the numbers real fast, and I'll ask Captain Balkin what's happening down at the police department. Mr. Numbers Guy, you should have been a baseball manager. You love your numbers. I'm surprised you didn't work for the Orioles growing up.
You know, that's how you measure success, I think.
Yeah.
Or you measure the fact that you better do a little more work.
Yeah, there you go.
One or the other, but numbers, I think, really tell you where you're at. So I am a number guy. I've been that way all my life.
What you got for us and information on stats?
I think it's important, year end, we always have to wait for the numbers to get tallied up and, on our crime as it is related to Marion County. So it's unincorporated areas. And so we had a decrease of 9.7%, which is almost 10% over the last 2 years. But that's the crime rate that really is our Part 1 crimes. That's our burglaries, our thefts, aggravated assaults, homicides, larcenies, sexual assaults, things of that nature. So, we're quite proud of that number. I think it's an accomplishment of the men and women serving the Marion County Sheriff's Office, the ones that are dedicated to the teams out there that, it's about taking the bad guys off the street and don't allow them to be out there reoffending. They've done a great job, and I think the numbers dictate that.
Just looking at a chart here, this is not really updated. It's kind of old. But going back at it, this is some staggering numbers that in 2008, that Ocala's crime rate was almost double the national average. And then it was bigger. Ocala's crime rate was bigger in 2009 and 2010. And it's actually bigger almost every year, but it's shrunk a lot since then. So since 2008, it's come down a lot. You're telling me these numbers are for this year, right?
Yeah, well, no, the 9.7 is since I took office. So,
okay.
We're talking 2 years.
Okay.
And, but which is important. We're at about 5.6% last year and then 4.1 this year. So
Gotcha.
it's for a total of 9.7.
Okay.
So, but that is a healthy number, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it is. Captain Balkin, the Ocala Police Department, I'm sure we got about a minute. What's happening down there?
Just real quick, I didn't bring specific numbers.
It's okay. You don't have to.
I can tell you.
Nobody can outnumber Chris.
Our focus has been on violent crime, some of our shootings and issues that we've had over the last month or two since I was here last. Certainly that's dropped off. We talked about that, Tom, at the beginning of the show. I would like to just touch real quick on the Special Olympics coming up. We've got a couple events going on. The Law Enforcement Torch Run to benefit Special Olympics will be on February 27th. That starts at the police department, work our way downtown, down to Churchill Square and back. And then, of course, we have our Tip-A-Cop at Eaton's Beach Sandbar and Grill.
Good people.
Yep, absolutely. Come on out and let one of our officers serve you a meal and be generous in your tip, and that money will go to help out some of our developmentally and intellectually challenged citizens here in town.
It's a great cause, and Tom should sure go because Tom loves to tip big, too.
There you go, Tom. Yeah. Come on out.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, the officers have a great time. I was involved in that activity last year. at one of the local restaurants. We had a great time.
Good. Well, thanks to all you guys do in the community. Thanks for keeping us safe. And by the way, you all stay safe, all right?
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
see
you,
you in a
buddy.
couple of weeks. And Captain Mike Balkin and Sheriff Chris Brown. I'm Buddy Martin. Stay tuned. Coming up next, the Restaurant and Food Show, followed by the Southern Pigskin tonight. Stay tuned right here to WOCA.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz.
Hi, I'm State Farm agent Angie Lewis. Come see me and my team for all your insurance and financial needs in the beautiful downtown historic district, 416 East Fort King Street, or call 291-2444.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to